Welcome to the fourth video in our series of video tutorials on the Heating Solutions Navigator, our new set of tools designed to support Daikin customers. In our last video, hopefully you learned how to complete a simplified heat load calculation. Now, we're going to show you how to complete an advanced room-by-room heat load calculation, which we recommend for MCS compliance. In this session, we'll use an example of a simple single-zone house to show you the steps required to complete an advanced room-by-room heat load calculation. First, open the calculator. If you haven't already inputted your project location, you can do so here. Next, move straight on to define the design conditions according to MCS guidance. Define whether the property is an exposed location or not. Select the age range of construction. The outside design temperatures are already defined based on the location you provided. You can then adjust the altitude if required, which will correct the outside design temperature. Next, you can define the reheat patterns for the zones you have selected. You can define the system as always on or intermittent. If you select intermittent, you then need to set the setback temperature and the time taken to reach your indoor design conditions. Click Next, and you're ready to start adding your rooms. First, we'll add a new room to the selected zone. Name the room and select its type. Once it has been added to the zone, click on the room to start defining its properties. In this example, the age of room is preset to the age range you have already given in the house. The room temperature and air exchange rates are set according to the room type you have chosen based on CIBSE guidance. So a living room would have a different temperature and air exchange rate to a bathroom or kitchen. Next, you're going to set up the room. For a square room, you can use the easy mode. For other shaped rooms, you can use the advanced mode. Let's take a look at the easy mode for now. So click on the easy mode and enter the room dimensions. Here I'm going to create a room from our plan that's 1.8 meters wide by 2.5 meters in length and 2.6 meters high. In order to fully define a room, you need to define all surfaces, the floor, ceiling and walls. For the floor, you can define the floor type, ground, internal or party, where the heat transfers to, directly to the exterior, through the ground or suspended floor, whether the thermal bridges are insulated, and the construction type of the surface. The U values will then be automatically calculated. Or if you have given the construction type as other, you can also input the U values manually. You follow the same steps for ceiling and define the ceiling type, roof, internal or party, where the heat transfers to, whether the thermal bridges are insulated, and the construction type of the surface. You do the same again for the walls and define the wall type, external, internal or party, where the heat transfers to, whether the thermal bridges are insulated, and the construction type of the surface. If you have chosen an internal wall, you'll also have the option to add further rooms such as hallways into the zone by clicking Add Room and completing the details. Whenever you see a toggle switch, you'll also have the option to add windows and doors if required. For each wall, you'll need to input all the relevant details until you build up a complete picture of every room. Once you've defined all of the building elements, you can see the total heat load requirement for the room in the top right-hand corner. Then in the top left-hand corner, you can return to your zone summary and complete the same process for each room. The process speeds up as the calculator remembers any relevant construction details and applies it to subsequent rooms. Now remember that we've used the easy mode so far for square rooms. As mentioned already, for other shaped rooms, you can use the advanced mode. The process is basically the same, except that we need to define the floor and ceiling area in meters squared. You can have more than 4 walls, with, for an example, an L-shaped wall defined as 3 separate wall sections, and you can simply build up the room element by element. Once you've defined all your rooms, you will then know the total heat load for the entire house. You can also do this in the heat load overview section by clicking on the right-hand tab. Next, Return to the Heating Solutions Navigator and don't forget to save your calculations. The next step is to complete your radiator calculations. You can find out how to do that in our next video tutorial. See you in the next session.